Next pack. This one here, you may have seen it in the previous video. It has a strap to the top here, a smart wool blanket to be used in temperate weather on top of my flat sheet, and also for use outside of the tent so that I don't damage my sleeping bag. This pack here, Frost River, I believe it's called the Summit Expedition Pack, but it's basically just like a gear bag for me. General gear. Okay, so within that bag, in the front pouch, this one here, I have that spare spoon that I talked about in another video, hopefully I'm still in frame. I have an axe sheath, and this is a, I forgot what you call them, but it's basically a fire starter that works under compression. You put a little piece of char cloth into the mouth of it and you slam it down, it makes a coal. I just wanted to give it a try up out in the woods, you know, another source to make fire, make a video about it. Spare belt, eye protection, just clear eye protection, some strops or whatnot for the whittling knife that I'm bringing along. So in the top section here, there's a pouch. In this pouch here is an air tag. But in addition to that, there are some of these reusable hand warmers. I'm bringing those mostly for photography, for early morning. If it's cold, it can cause dew to form on the lens, so you put a heat pack on it and it heats up the lens and prevents that dew. A pair of goggles for going under the water. That whittling knife that I previously mentioned. I forgot the exact name of it, but yeah, it's like a multi-function. It's got many blades in it. Made by Flex Cut. Okay, and then, so that's in the top. Excuse me. In this side pouch, we have a mixture of tape here. So I have some clear 3M flexible tape, some clear Gorilla tape. So the 3M is more tape per roll, whereas the Gorilla tape has more adhesion. So they each have their place. And then this larger one here is like a waterproof patch. So if I have any major patching that I have to do on like a tent or a canoe or whatnot, I'm not sure if this will stick to the sil nylon, but either way, just some patching material. Within these tubes of tape fits this thing here. This is what's called a MyOx. This is actually the marine issue MyOx, but it's basically, so it's made by MSR. They quit making these back, I don't know how long ago, but you can usually find military surplus of these. But the way that this works is with a battery, some water, and some rock salt, it creates a brine solution, and then that brine solution can be used to filter water. It can also be used as an antiseptic. So I'm bringing it along as water purification backup, and also for on-demand antiseptic in case I have an injury, as opposed to bringing along betadine or something along those lines. So this was given to me by a buddy of mine right before I left. It's pretty interesting. It's made by Rayener, but it's basically a small arc torch. I'm sure you can't see that in the video, but there's a button here. You press the button and it creates an arc between these here. I figure it'll be useful for lighting campfires, give me some distance there, and also for lighting the stove. Okay, in the other side pocket here is going to be holding two Hestra gloves. So this first lighter pair, just for working cordage and stuff like that, whatnot, general hand protection in the summertime. And then this heavier pair here with wool lining for some cold weather protection, and also heavier glove, which I would use when splitting with my axe here. So this bag has slots next to these pouches here, and in those slots on one side, also with the gloves here, I am storing this knife. This is a Helle, I don't know how to pronounce it, Helle, made out of Norway. The Wabakimi. I really love this knife. It's nice and big in the hand. The short stout blade here, good control. I wish the sheath provided a little bit more security. I guess I could lanyard this, but either way, I keep it inside my bag so it doesn't get lost. It's a nicer blade that I would use for more delicate work as opposed to a more general utility blade, which I'll be carrying on my belt. So then in those slots next to those large pockets, on one side I'll have this axe here, the small forest axe. I think it's actually called the survival axe or something along those lines. But it's made by Grassford Brook. Yeah, it's like their survival hatchet or whatnot. Mostly bringing it for use around camp. I'm not planning on felling any trees, although it's advertised that you can use this to fell trees. This is mainly going to be for splitting some wood around the campfire and stuff like that. And then in addition to that, I have the big boy saw. I also bought the katana saw, sawtana, whatever they call it, the big beefy one. Awesome blade for use as like a chainsaw almost, and then a trowel in case I have to go out in the woods. Alright, so in addition to that, on the inside of the main compartment here, this is going to be loose. This is just an anchor bag, and then I have the seal line pack here to hold everything else that's seen here. So I am bringing along this Padfolio just to almost as like a mobile desk. Sure, it has paper in it and whatnot, but I'm using it to hold documents, store documents, and also I have an iPad mini 6th gen that I'm bringing with, so I'm going to be keeping it inside of here to provide some protection. But it's mainly just to have like a lap desk out in the woods. Alright, and then I have this document pouch here from, I think it's Seal Line. Yeah, Sea to Summit rather. And I went ahead and I sealed it further with the excess sealant that I had from CCS with the tarp. Reading glasses, a compass, round compass. I like using this for mapping. And then a notebook, journal type deal, a Bible, a Citizen's Rulebook, and a Constitution. And then into the front two rows here, these are more utility bags. So in this first bag here, an old Dragonfly bag, it is a Dragonfly repair kit, some additional stove repair kit items, an extra fuel pump, some sealant for the tent and tarps, a thing of JB Weld in case I need to fix anything, and then a couple of things of super glue, some small screwdrivers, so a harmonica and some dice, the dice in case I need to make a decision that I don't want to make, or that I can't make, just roll the dice and see what they say, and a harmonica just in case I'm bored. I promise I won't do it on unpopulated lakes. And then some cloth tape, just for general purpose or first aid. So this here is it is the Phoenix CL30R. Either way, I'm a big fan of it. It's a multi-level in its brightness, but the thing that I like about it is that it can be used to charge 3 18650 batteries, and it can also be used to charge devices using those batteries. So this acts kind of like a power bank and also an 18650 battery charger, because I try to make my kit around the 18650 battery. I'm a big fan of that battery. And then just some charging cables just to keep them all organized. Alright, so for mobile power, because I am bringing along video equipment and such, I have this here. It's made by Bowden's. Bowden's went out of business, unfortunately. They make a great product, but this is a LiPo battery, and it has USB outputs, inputs going to be from the solar, and it also has an AC inverter, just in case some things can't be charged via USB. For instance, my electronic toothbrush, it has to be charged via AC. Really big fan of this thing. I think it's 166 watts, but it's not very heavy. I've been using it around at my apartment before I moved out just to see the loads of it, and I'm a huge fan of it. It's not light per se, but for what it does, it's not heavy. Charger for the GoPro batteries, charger for the Fujifilm X-T4, which I'm filming this on, and AA batteries, rechargeable for the GPS and the weather radio. Which brings us to the front row here. So this is more electronics bag. Spare 9-volt batteries for the Rode video microphone. Spare camera batteries that didn't fit in the camera bag. Weather radio. This is the Sangean DT400W. But I saw it recommended online. I like it quite a bit for the price and everything, and it's in Sea to Summit waterproof packs. This Sony Walkman, I bought this thing years ago. I absolutely love this Walkman. If I could get the model number off of it, it is the NW ZX300. ZX300. Great device. And then headphones, cheap pair for the weather radio / backup. Some nice hi-fi headphones that work with the Walkman here. And then some AirPods to work with the iPad or with the Walkman if I don't want to have it exposed. A couple of extra air tags there in case I lose any. I have an extra Phoenix headlamp here. This one's actually pretty neat. It has a magnetic charging system. So as opposed to actually having to plug in a cord to charge it, has a little magnetic button almost that just clicks onto the side of it there. So it gives it waterproof charging. And then inside of this case here I have memory card readers so that I can take content from the cameras and put them onto my iPad, and some storage there. I think those are 4 terabyte. Yes, a couple of 4 terabyte SSDs to store content that's created up in the woods. While I got this video going, I'm just going to finish up the electronics section with the solar panel. Apologies for the noise here, this is loud and annoying. I just had it in this plastic bag here for protection while I was traveling. It's supposed to be water resistant, and I'm fairly certain that as long as I don't drop it in the lake, it should be fine. But it's a Rockpail 60 watt solar panel, the new generation of that panel. But basically it's a 3-section fold monocrystalline. From what I saw, it's one of the better panels for this type of purpose. Again, not the lightest thing in the world, but it plugs directly into the Bowdens, and it should provide me with sufficient power for all the devices that I need to provide videography. So with that, I think that is all for this pack. Break. I realized I missed a bag here. So this is my sewing kit. Some spare buttons, some nylon thread. I think that's nylon. Some kind of coated thread. Some, they're actually old scissors that I got with a bonsai kit, but they're just some nice short scissors, good for herbiculture or sewing and stuff. Some red ribbon, just in case I want to mark something. Safety pins, needles, some larger fabric needles, and that's about it.